Living with the Text is a series of short videos that are meant to help us engage with the upcoming scripture for Sunday. In the same way that a preacher lives with the text all week, we hope that you will also. We don't work on the text as much as we allow the text to work on us. Let this engagement with Scripture be a gift to your week, and find out how much more meaningful Sunday worship will be when you've been living with the text all week. Well, the text this week, we're really living with two. We're in the Gospel of Mark, the 9th chapter, where Jesus introduces a little child to raise up his disciples into their very best selves, and also with the book of James, and that's the one I'd like to focus on in this moment. This is James, the 3rd chapter, starting at verse 13, and we're going to roll through and into the 4th chapter. It reads like this. Who is wise and understanding among you? Show by your good life that your works are done with gentleness, born of wisdom. But if you have bitter envy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not be arrogant and lie about the truth. This is not wisdom that comes from above, but is earthly, unspiritual, and devilish. For where there is envy and selfish ambition, there will also be disorder and wickedness of every kind. But the wisdom from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, willing to yield, full of mercy and good fruit, without a trace of partiality or hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. Those conflicts and disputes among you, where do they come from? Do they not come from your own cravings that are at war within you? You want something and do not have it, so you commit murder, and you covet something that cannot obtain it, and so you engage in disputes and conflicts. You do not have because you do not ask, and you ask and you do not receive because you ask wrongly, in order to spend what you get on your selfish pleasures. Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw near to God, and God will draw near to you. What great wisdom we get from the book of James, and wisdom is a gift. First and foremost, we need to understand wisdom as gift. It's really not something that you earn, but it's really something that you receive over a lifetime, through experiences, and through revelation from God, and through the mentorship of the wise ones around you. Yes, wisdom is not something we can earn. Wisdom is a gift. We can, though, prepare ourselves to receive such a gift. We can prepare ourselves to receive it, to see it, and to hold it when it comes our way. James is connecting this wisdom with peace. And peace is interesting. Peace is a gift. When we're talking about the peace that comes from above, the peace of Christ that surpasses understanding, that indeed is a gift. But the kind of peace that James is talking about, he says this, fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by people who make peace. This kind of peace, this kind of peaceable living together with ourselves and with God and with one another and with the created order is the kind of peace that has to be made. Recall what Jesus says in the Sermon on the Mount, blessed are the peacemakers. Peace itself has to be sown, it has to be cultivated, it has to be worked towards. Peace must be made. How do we do those things? How do we prepare ourselves to receive the gift of wisdom and still make decisions in the life in our lives that make ways for peace, draw near to God. What a great piece of wisdom and also a promise. Draw near to God, and God will also draw near to you. We're mindful of the things that are of God. And James has a pretty good list. What are the things that are of God? We can see what things aren't. But these are the things that are of God, things that are pure, things that are peaceable, things that are gentle, lives that are willing to yield, lives that are full of mercy and good fruit, without a trace of partiality or hypocrisy. These are the lives that are living for God. These are the lives that are of God. These are the lives that have drawn near to God. Draw near to God and draw near to others who share in this peacemaking, who have the same desire for wisdom from above. What can we introduce into our lives that might rise us up to our best selves? What are some things that we can introduce into our lives that might be pure and gentle and full of good fruit, not laced with hypocrisy or partiality? What are some things that we could introduce into our lives that might draw us near to God? And spending time in videos like these is a good place to start. Study and in prayer. Make time for meaningful prayer, some deep, heart-shaping prayer that prepares the heart to receive wisdom when it comes our way, that prepares our lives to make the ways of peace so that the great peacemaker might come. I might also suggest a good Bible study group. And we've got a great one here at the church, and we'll be offering others throughout the life of the church as the season unfolds. I started attending a new group last week. It's actually an online Zoom Bible study that's sponsored by our General Conference of Disciples Men. This is a group for men to help us to be a little more pure. Men need a little help in finding ways to be gentle with ourselves and with others. Men need each other to hold ourselves accountable to lives of good fruit and lives full of mercy. We need to check each other when we get a little too hypocritical or a little too partial. I've been in this group now for 2 weeks with men that half of them I have met before and half of them I've never met before. But what's interesting is the peace in which we share. In just these 2 weeks, the peace that has already surpassed my understanding, because a way was made for us to share in it. Wisdom and peace. And in just 2 weeks, just 2 studies, every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, my life has already been enriched. And I'm already finding wisdom for my life. What can you do to introduce into your life the things that make ways for peace, the things that prepare us to receive wisdom? What are the things that you could introduce into your life, the practices and disciplines that might help you draw near to God, so that God might draw near to you, because God is already drawing near to you? What are some things that you could add to your life that would bring peace and wisdom? Let that be on your mind and heart as you live with the text this week.